Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what this show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. Today's episode 214, and this is Life Hacks. This is for the everyday person. Well, not for the everyday person. I think for people who want to get up with their hustle and they want to kind of make things going a little bit smoother for themselves. When we're, especially in this time of 2021 of uncertainty and all kinds of different stresses and things like that, we need things to make our lives easier so that we can progress, so that we can figure out what it is we need to do. We don't need all these extra things in the background, right? Like this, the noise in the back is my vehicle, and that's my pickup truck. I'm making do with what I have. So on my work commutes is when I do these shows in my mobile studio. I have 350. 96 pickup diesel. So yeah, I want to jump into this episode 214, Life Hacks, and first one I want to talk about is vitamin C. Well, it's very good for you and your body. It's going to help with COVID and the cold and the flus and things like that, but I'll bet you've never heard of this one. If you ever wanted to take chloramine out of your water, right? If you have a fish tank or just even for yourself, or maybe you're not familiar with what chloramine is. We have chlorine and then we have chloramine. Chloramine is actually devised from the water companies, a chemical engineer, because unlike chlorine that evaporates like a gas, chloramine doesn't. So it stays through our pipes and everything and keeps our water sanitary from bacteria and problems like that. So a lot of people are against these kind of things that the water companies use. I'm not for them either, but in our big giant cities and living in the rat race, we have to keep some sort of sanitation going on. The problem is this stuff's not very good for you, right? It doesn't evaporate. So there is a trick though. If you want to do an aquaponics system, which is growing your food in symbiotic relationship with fish waste, aquatic, you want to get rid of that chloramine because I don't think it's very healthy for your plants, not very healthy for you, and definitely not healthy for your aquatic creatures. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a chewable 1,000 milligram of vitamin C, and if you have a 55-gallon drum or something that you're putting it in, that's about the mark from what it said. I haven't tested it. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and it feels a lot better, and it seems like it takes away the smell. So basically what I do as a rule of thumb is I'll take in about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per 55 gallons of just regular chlorinated water. So you're pouring your water from your hose, you're going to fill up, say, a stock tank to do a little aquaponics system like I've got. It's a little 75-gallon. Fill it up, put the vitamin C tablet in there, and let that just sit there for about a day or two. Put some aeration, and that'll evaporate the chloramine from there. What I also do is I have to fill up my tank. I have just a little fish tank there to grow herbs and things like that. And what I have to do is it gets dry every once in a while. The water level starts to go down. So I get a 5-gallon bucket and I always fill it up with water and let it sit there for the week. My chore days are on Sundays. So I know every Sunday I'll dump this 5-gallon into my 75-gallon and it always keeps it nice and topped off. But what I'll do is I'll break off the quarter of this 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C tablet and put that quarter in that bucket all week to let it do its work. All right, next, cutting plants. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, like green onions. You can take green onions, you can grow them from seed and everything, but why would you do that when you go to the store and you buy such things as green onions, right, already? You can chop these things and you can actually leave about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch on the bottom. I prefer about a 1/2 inch where the root system is. Clip that off, save those little buds, and either stick them in your aquaponics system, in the grow media and the rocks or whatever you're doing. But even simpler than that is just get yourself a little pot with some potting soil, wedge these little guys in there and watch them grow. Watch them keep sprouting for you over and over again. I've got some that are, oh my goodness, I think we're on like 6-7 months now, and I just keep trimming them and they keep coming back. Now I even have them going to seed so I can plant some if I want to from seed. But why throw away all the, the excess? Throw away those things and put them in the compost when you could actually start growing more food. There's a lot of, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can do this with trees. You can do, I don't know if I'm skipping notes here, but Basically, you can take a willow tree and you can cut a branch off, or a grape, or a horsetail herb. Horsetail is good for kidneys, I think, a kidney flesh. Also, you can use it as an abatement for powdery mildew, it is said. I've been experimenting with it. So all these different herbs and stuff. Horsetail looks like bamboo. Bamboo is actually another one. You can clip these things, and as long as you got the top and the bottom marked, what I like to do is take a diagonal cut. So I know that the sharp end is that what goes like a spear. That's what goes into the soil. And just stick these things in the dirt and watch them grow. You can start a new business of selling plants. You can feed yourself. You can just have it for aesthetics. It's really cool. So yeah, I think I was aquaponics is next for herbs and others. So basically, what I do, I've done this recently, experimented with, is I took my peppermint and my spearmint, and what I did is I cut the branches off and I just literally stuck them in the aquaponics system. I have this little fish pond. So basically, what I did is I just got some recycled like drinking jars or drinking water bottles and stuff like that, juice plastic containers. I cut a bunch of holes in them. I filled them up with lava rock, because lava rock, again, remember we were talking about water and different things that affect it, like chloramine. Certain rocks can make water acidic or alkaline. So lava rock is very neutral. You can put that in. It's completely neutral. And basically, I just take these cuttings and I stick them in there. Now I keep cutting and cutting, and now I got tea. Me and my daughter love to have hot spearmint or peppermint tea. We use peppermint leaves in our cooking. We use peppermint leaves and we make like a lemonade slushy, so it's a mint lemonade. And you put some honey in it, put it in your blender, and whip it all up in the summertime, and it is delish. So yeah, you can grow lots of herbs. You can grow, like I said, onions. I've grown kale in these things. The problem is, though, is there's certain things that won't grow in this aquaponic system because the fish will start eating the roots. So there's certain things that just don't like it. I've grown kale successfully. I've not been able to grow lettuce, just dropping some seeds in there. But I have grown some herbs like mints very well. And in fact, the fish, I think, really like to play with the roots there. Life hacks, though. Let's get into we're teaching you how to feed yourself. Let's learn how to cook. I just purchased myself an air fryer / pressure cooker. And when we're in the hustle and we're really busy and we're trying to figure shit out, we're especially trying to stay healthy. That's one of my big things is I'm starting new businesses. For those of you following me, I own my own construction business. I got side hustles, this podcast, all kinds of things going on. So it gets very difficult, and it's easier just to go buy a cheeseburger, at the store, which is spending a lot of my own money, or just getting some frozen food and putting that together. And they're kids. I mean, the other day I actually did it. What did we make? We made chicken nuggets and fish sticks, right? And I ate it. It tasted good, kind of, but made me feel like shit, Afterwards, I was like, oh, man. Why not utilize these air fryers and these pressure cookers to do healthy eating? There's some pretty cool stuff you can do that only takes a minute. I'm going to share one because we ain't got that much time. Get yourself a cauliflower. Cut the bottom off this cauliflower, a full head, or you could do the full head. I prefer to cut them up in pieces, makes it a little easier. Get yourself some mayonnaise. If you don't like mayonnaise, get yourself some avocado oil or olive oil. Spritz the whole top of this thing. Sprinkle on whatever type of seasonings you want, whether it's the mayo or the oil. You can sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese, or what I did is I put a sprinkle of mozzarella cheese on it. Stick that thing. Don't follow the recipes where you're supposed to pressure cook it. It ends up all soggy and everything. Just stick it in your air fryer for about 20 minutes and just give it a stir every once in a while. Stir it until it actually starts to get real brown and toasty. Don't put it in the pressure cooker, but this thing you can literally set and forget it. These air fryers and pressure cookers are really cool. So I can take something like that, a whole entire head with some cheese or some Parmesan cheese, or I could even, one of the newest ones, I already know it's going to work, is take that cauliflower and cut it into wedges, into slices. Put some marinara sauce and pizza sauce on that with a little bit of cheese and some vegetables, and use that cauliflower as the base, as your crust. Now, you can just set these things once you get used to it and just forget it. So I've got a lot of different foods and stuff that I have that are healthy. Like one of the things we're doing is roasted vegetables. So I can literally just take like some mushrooms, bell peppers, and just not even, it's better when they're bigger pieces, right? Throw in some zucchini, mushrooms, butternut squash, sweet potato, red onions, whatever you want. Just toss all this stuff, give it a spritz of oil or dump some oil, mix it all up. Again, pour your seasonings, put the air fryer on, and within like 15 minutes, you don't even have to be there. It shuts off by itself, and you've got some roasted vegetables. So yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't be healthy. We just need to utilize some of these hacks. Next one is triple trash liners in your trash can. I got a special needs kid, so I'm always changing diapers and things like that, and so I try to make it easy. What's nice is I have to take my trash out about every 2 to 3 days, especially in the summer, because dirty diapers start to really smell. So what I do is I line my trash can with 3 liners. That way I can pull the top one off and then go dump my trash. And what happens is if something happens, you know, you break a glass or something like that, because here on my lifestyle design anyways, we try to get rid of plastic, so we use a lot of like canning jars and stuff like that. If one breaks and you're sweeping it up and you put it in there in the trash bag, and next thing you know, it pokes a hole and it starts to leak a bunch of juices, you have those secondary bags, so it makes less cleanup in your trash can, so you don't get stinky, rotten juices. The other thing it does is when you run out of bags, you go to grab your last bag, you already have 3 bags in that trash can. That gives you a full week to where you can put on your notes, I need to go get more bags, we're out of trash cans. So this keeps your trash can very sanitary, I think, you know, for bacteria and things like that. I think it's very nasty. But yeah, that's one of my hacks there. And I do believe in using trash bags and then not using them, because when the trash men come to pick up your trash and dump that thing with their automated systems, if it's not in a trash bag, papers and plastic stuff flies everywhere. So I don't like plastic, but I would rather have everything contained so that we don't have styrofoam and shit floating out around in our atmosphere. Raw juices instead of salads. So a lot of us in the hustle, like me, very busy, right? And then I end up not shitting right, you know, I'm not getting my exercise, I'm doing, like I said, start eating fast foods and things that aren't healthy, I start feeling bad. And then when I get home, the last thing I want to do is chop up a salad. And what's been happening lately is I just been making the same old salad, right? I just go buy that 50-50 blend of spring mix and baby spinach. I like to cut mine up so you don't have a fucking leaf like a fishtail stuck to the side of your face when you're trying to eat it. I do that, and I'll slice up some cucumbers and tomato, and maybe that's it. And then I'll pour some Italian dressing, store-bought, of course, and we'll eat that. And we'll eat that every single day, and you get really tired of it. Why not, for those of you who don't know, get yourself a juicer. And again, we're working on things that are machinery and somewhat automated. For those of you who don't know, you can take a bunch of carrots and whatever you want to juice, cucumbers and celery and apples and oranges. And when you juice them, it condenses in like a quart mason jar is like the equivalent if you drank that. Don't take it easy, because you may shit your pants depending how much celery you put in it too. I know that's very popular. Not shitting your pants, but eating celery. Actually, the two go hand in hand, don't they? But yeah, it's like drinking a salad, like eating like a week's worth of salad in one glass. So it's already chewed up for you and everything. And don't worry, if you think that you're not getting all the vitamins and minerals, you're getting every single one. I believe the Gerson therapy, who has a 95% success rate of healing people from cancer, and they get this all the time. No, it's taking all the sugar and there's no fiber. She's like, bull fucking shit. So somebody who has a track record of healing people from cancer like that, I tend to follow what they have to say. Another good thing about the raw juicing is the leftovers. A lot of times I'll get like a giant batch of tomatoes and stuff like that, and they start to turn a little bit. They start to get a little soft. They're not very good in salads, but they're not bad as far as they're not sour. The flavor is actually pretty good, pretty darn good. So what you do is when they start to get a little soggy and mushy and things like that, go ahead and throw them in the juice. Blend them up and hide them in your juicy that you're drinking. Another thing hack is squeeze yourself about a half a lemon or a quarter of a lemon on top of your juice, and throw a little bit of some Himalayan pink sea salt. That'll help preserve your salad, or your vegetable drink. But yeah, take any leftovers, anything. You could juice lettuce, you can juice, it just starts to turn, when you got a couple of those little, especially if you buy organic, the baby greens, they just start to turn. Throw all that in there, juice it, get yourself a good one. My goodness, we're running out of time already again. Sunday fridge. What I have is my Sunday fridge. Excuse me, guys, I'm driving over here and and podcasting at the same time. I got to make sure I don't drive off the side of the road. Sunday food smorgasbord. The fridge smorgasbord is what I'm going to leave you guys with. Unfortunately, I have a whole list here I want to share with you guys. I just ain't got the time. But yeah, what I do is I have my barbecue Saturdays is a thing that I do so that not a habit, but a ritual. So I just have one day off and I get to do what I want to do, just to relax, right? Sunday's chore day, but on Sunday, when I go through my chores, one of the things on my chore list is to go through my fridge and make sure we're not wasting shit. So what'll happen during the whole week is I'll have a couple leftovers of thises and thatses, you know, especially like I said, when you didn't eat all of the cauliflower, you got a couple of those left, you got some extra mushrooms that you didn't quite fit in there. What I like to do is I just make a smorgasbord of like different tasting stuff. I've got all kinds of frozen like pesto, and I've got like the street corn mix and like, I don't know, like some toppings. I got what is a hatch chili cheddar cream dip stuff. So I'll take that and I'll put those in those like 5 mushrooms, right? I'll barbecue those things. I'll get my extra zucchini, slather them with barbecue sauce and grill those. And we'll have this whole assortment of different stuff to eat to clean everything up. Whatever I don't eat that I've got, like I said, vegetables, I'll go ahead and throw in my juicer that day to eradicate all those things. So that's to not get over leftovers. I know a lot of people don't like to eat them, but when you make a whole little smorgasbord, and I mean, there's so many things you can do when you're barbecue, when you're using like this air fryer, for instance, and you're doing say chicken strips or something. A lot of the fats and juices will fall out the bottom. Take those and use them to cook something else. You know, it's like an oil. It's got some flavor in it. You can combine all these little things and make yourself something quite tasty, and you have zero waste. It's good for the planet, good for your pocketbook, good for your taste buds, and good for you in general. So that's the show, guys. If you like this sort of thing, please help me out and subscribe, dislike, give me a middle finger, thumbs up, give me a review. It's upandinitshow@gmail.com if anybody wants to get a hold of me and give me any suggestions or something you guys want to hear about. But other than that, this is Up and In It. Check it out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere where they'll let me blabber my mouth on podcasts. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it, my friends.